Hello everybody, this is HD Shaves here. I'm back with a video. I hope this finds you well and in good spirits. So we have kind of an exciting shave today. I suppose let's start by talking about the razor. So the razor I'll be using today is one that I showed, give you a little teaser for in last week's video. And this is the Weck hair shaper razor. Maybe you can see that on the top of the razor there. This uses a disposable hair shaper blade. As far as I know, the main three manufacturers of these blades are Personna here in the US, and they probably have that brand, or they have those blades rebranded under a couple different names here. And then also there's the Kismet blade in Germany. There's another razor kind of like this called the Kismet razor. And there's also the Diane blades that are made in Japan. So it seems like you do have some options when it comes to these blades. I have a Kismet blade that I'll be trying out at some point in the future, but for now, this is the Personna hair shaper blade. And it kind of reminds me of a gym PTFE blade, except much longer, obviously. But it's rigid, single-sided, and I believe there is sort of a Teflon PTFE coating on the edge of the blade there. You can find these razors pretty easily on eBay, and I want to give a shout out to my friend who initially sent me the Weck Sexto blade configuration. Maybe you see there it says Sexto blade. They were called that because they came with 6 blades originally that you could in theory rotate through, each day for your shave. And this is the medical grade kind of stainless, I believe it's stainless or metal scales. Anyway, and so because of that, it's very heavy here in the back. And I started off using this razor, and it's okay, but it's just the balance is a little strange. And so it's definitely, I think most people would prefer the plastic scales version. I have a Sexto blade with plastic scales coming in soon, and maybe I'll make a video on that at some point. So speaking of the Weck, somebody who has used these razors somewhat often in the past few years is IMCDB, of course, Chris over there. And I figured, and he has been very helpful in answering some of my questions about these razors, and he sent me one of those Kismet blades I was telling you about, and he also included in that package a tub of Barrister and Mann Amazelnut. This is a beautiful hazelnut, vetiver, vanilla kind of scent. It's not like a sweet coffee hazelnut thing. It's the vetiver kind of adds some depth to it, and it's not too sweet with the vanilla. This is not something that I want to smell like all day, but as a shaving soap, I think it's great. And as you can see here on the side label, this is the Omnibus base. So this is my first time this week using this base, and I have been definitely impressed with it. And let's just start the face lathering process here, and then we'll keep talking. Working with 2 days growth here, as usual. And I pre-loaded the brush. Because of the vanilla and the fragrance, I think this is one that you probably should use a synthetic with. So I'm going to be using this Timberwolf knot here today. And so with this base, Will wanted to kind of consolidate all of his soap bases, and so as far as I know, everything that's coming out for the next, for the foreseeable future is going to be in this Omnibus base. I was surprised even that he changed the Reserve scents to the Omnibus base, because after all, the Reserve soap base brand is kind of in the name. But nonetheless, I'm not a huge fan of Reserve, and I won't be missing that soap. I guess that's the best way to put it. Yeah, it's a pretty stout scent, and I could see where people, like me, don't want to smell like this all day. But I think there are some creative aftershave pairings in terms of scent that you could use to pair with this, so that you don't end up smelling like this all day. So yeah, like I was saying, CDB sent me the soap. and also that Kismet blade. And he certainly had some controversy, maybe even infamy over the years, but as he's here, or I should say as he's gone on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, I just wanted to, send a note to him. Not that he's necessarily going to watch this, but if he does, that I think he does provide good things for the shaving world, and I think it's definitely like a net positive thing. He gets new people into the hobby, into shaving this way, and I do agree with him that we can sometimes be a little bit short-sighted in thinking that we only, have to talk to fellow hobbyists, but it is a good idea to try to get new people in whenever is feasible. So that's just my CDB spiel today. That's all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to keep building my face lather, and I'll bring you back when I'm about to start my first pass with the Weck hair shaper. Okay, so hopefully you all could see during that process that this soap can really take a good bit of water. We definitely got it translucent, and it's not bubbly. It's just kind of my stubble sticking through the lather, which is great. So here we go. We're going to go with the hair shaper, and I had a big, so I've been using this razor for maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks off camera, and I had a big realization. I had two ones this week, which one was that I was actually riding it too flat, meaning I was putting it too much like this instead of tilting a little bit. And then the thing with these open blade razors, so you really got to use as little pressure as possible. People always say that when using like a DE to use a light touch. This is like, I don't know, even half as much as that or something. And I don't know for sure, but I would guess the reason why is because there's just no guard on this at all to kind of protect you. Like when you're using a DE and you push down too much, there's just no guard. So it's got a nice cutting sound. And I should have said before I started this pass, my disclaimer is I don't guarantee that this will be free of blood. It's not ever too gory, but sometimes these little weepers will sneak up on me. So who knows, but you'll see. I do like the cutting sensation of this razor. It definitely reminds me of a gem razor, PTFE feeling. Which I like. And these blades are thicker than the Artist Club blades that you use like in those feather razors or a number of other open blade Artist Club deals. The thing people say about this razor is that it's maybe too small for them. And I meant to show this earlier, but there is a slight size difference between the... How am I going to do this? I guess like this. Sorry, should have planned this. There is a slight size difference between the sexto blade and the hair shaper. There's not really a good way to show this, but the sexto blade is a little bit bigger. And so I'll be interested to see if I can notice a difference. The main thing I can see is just that the tail is so short on these razors. But anyway, my point is it doesn't really bother me, but I can see where maybe some people, they would think this is too small. Okay, first pass looks good, and we'll rinse, and we're just going to do 2 passes today. So I'll be right back for that. Pass number 2 with a Amazelnut. Okay, here we go. We're going to go for our second pass, kind of against and across the grain. I usually start right hand on the left side. And this is where I will flatten out the angle. You don't want to come in too hot when you're going against the grain on your face like this. And then here I'm going to switch and do cross. Trying to use very little pressure. Okay. And then we'll switch sides. Left hand, right side. I wanted to mention too about these blades. That they are a little bit expensive. I think it's maybe something like $1 a blade if you buy, I don't know, 5 or 10. But they really last a long time. Due to their rigidity, they can be palm stropped if you need to. And I know somebody who's put hundreds of uses on one of these blades. Looks like we do have one little spot already. Let's do a cross here. And then I like putting 2 hands on the razor here to do this. right hand under here. And we'll switch. And then here we'll use both again. Sorry for the silence, as you can imagine. This requires a little concentration at this point in my life. Okay, so we'll feel around, see if there are any egregious spots. As a reminder, these razors and blades are, well, the blades are very sharp, and so you don't, even with, mediocre technique like I have, efficiency is not something to worry about too much. Grab a little bit under here. And we might be good. So I have two little weepers here. I don't know if these are from the other day. Also, it's possible. But skin is feeling relatively good. Doesn't feel terribly irritated or anything. I've had some irritated shaves, that's for sure. But I don't think today's one of them. So I'll consider this a great success. I'm going to do my final rinse and come back and talk to you over post-shave in just a moment. Okay, for aftershave today, let's use Declaration Grooming Massacre of the Innocents, which is a dupe of Parfums de Marly Herod, and this one came to mind to use as a pairing with Amazelnut because it is, at least Herod, is marketed as a gourmand, and even though it's a tobacco vanilla kind of scent, I could see where it maybe leans gourmand. And so even though it's not a, it's not a direct match for Amazelnut, I've been enjoying using this one anyway. This has a little bit of menthol in it, and I can feel it kind of kicking in now. Of course, nowadays you don't have to put the menthol in these splashes, but I decided to for this one. So, Massacre of the Innocents there. And let's do a final review. We used Barrister and Mann Amazelnut. Thanks to IMCDB for sending me that soap. It's been a pleasant surprise and nice to use Omnibus, the new base from Barrister and Mann. We used the Weck hair shaper razor, a nice way to try a vintage open blade razor without having to, actually strop a vintage straight or something like that. And then we used the Dogwood Handcrafts handle Maggard Timberwolf brush. So thank you all so much. If you made it this far, we'll probably do a safety razor shave of some sort next week. So I'll look forward to taking it easy a bit. And so I hope you'll enjoy that too. For now, this has been HD Shaves. Thank you so much. Take care, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.